Good evening, everyone. My name is Adil Qureshi. My co-founder, Siddhi Sundar, and I run an organization called the Hero Lab. We use positive psychology and design thinking to help improve mental health outcomes of at-risk youth. What we're trying to do is to create high-impact leaders and problem solvers by helping youth take deep control over their environments in their schools and in their communities. Before I break down the model, I'd like to start with a small story. In early March this year, I was teaching a group of middle schoolers in inner city Baltimore. This rambunctious bunch, which I had struggled with for quite a while, fell pin drop silent when the topic of gun violence was broached as something that they'd want to change within their communities. More than half the class had recently lost a close relative or a friend to a stabbing or a shooting. One of my students, Kayla, generally the most composed and the most confident of the lot, broke into tears and rushed out of class. This was the most vulnerable we had ever seen her. When Siddhi and me both left class to just go check on her, she pulled each of us into a tight hug, and she said, "I am so scared. I know I'm failing every subject in school. I know that there's a good chance that I'm not going to make it out of 8th grade. But just recently at Halloween, I saw my cousin stabbed in front of me. I literally had his blood on my hands. And I know I should be caring a lot more about school, but how can I do that when the only thing I can think about is whether I'm going to be the next one who's going to be murdered?" Kayla wasn't failing because she wasn't trying to, and she definitely wasn't failing because she wanted to. She was failing because there's this massive gap between where our Baltimore City youth come from and where they're expected to succeed. Adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are traumatic events, physical, sexual, or psychological, which can have long-term permanent damage on the emotional well-being of youth. An ACE score of a 4 out of 10 puts youth more than 460% at risk for developing depression and more than 1,000% at risk for committing suicide. The average ACE score of the Baltimore City youth we work with is a 6 on 10, which means all of them fall into that big blue block over there, or the purple one rather. The NIH, in a 10-year prospective study, to try to find out what is the key reasons that youth between the ages of 15 and 25 were going ahead and committing suicide, found out that those reasons were a lack of purpose, a lack of hope, and a lack of social capital. These observations manifested in the Hero Lab, an organization which over the course of the past 2 years has been working with at-risk youth in Mumbai, where it was originally founded, and Baltimore. Through references, we approach schools, and we work with teachers, principals, and social workers who connect us to groups of youth who they believe can really benefit from our program. We evaluate synergies and go ahead and launch the program free of cost. We implement a curriculum which runs for the best part of 3 to 6 months, and in the aftermath of that, we follow our youth and provide them longitudinal mentorship to help them continue to grow. Our curriculums are implemented either by external facilitators or high potential educators who we stipend from within the school that we're working with. The interactive curriculum breaks students into smaller groups, and they work to prototype a solution after identifying a problem that they feel really passionate about changing in their schools or communities. They then prototype a solution using only locally available resources and launch their projects while simultaneously building soft skills for well-being like grit, resilience, gratitude, and a strong sense of purpose. Research has shown that character education, positive emotions, and resilience correlate with a low incidence of mental illnesses and bring greater sense of fulfillment to the lives of youth and people. And we do this by adopting a strengths-based approach, which is moving away from the focus of what's wrong with our youth and moving towards the strengths that they have. Asking them, what is it that they're good at? And asking them, what are you doing when you're at your best? Kayla, when she identified her strengths and what she cared about, was able to overcome a fixed mindset, was able to build resilience, and was able to wire her education around something that brought her the greatest sense of fulfillment, which was solving a gun violence problem in her communities. She's now part of a group of 7th and 8th graders at James McHenry School working on a multimedia piece which allows students to explore their signature strengths in film, dance, poetry, and song to bring about and to explain a youth perspective on gun violence, which they hope to push into the hands of legislators. Kayla has realized that where she comes from in Baltimore is not a threshold, but a catalyst of what she can achieve. Here's a video that can help you guys understand what is it the kids at McHenry are working on.
My name is Kayla, and I'm from James McHenry Middle School. Okay, we're trying to show Baltimore that guns and bullets are not the answer.
Today we just hear about everything else in the streets that just is sad.
Particularly us. We're going to talk about how gun violence affects people of our lives.
You use songs and you affect people.
Another person dies in the street. Every time when I wake up, that's another dream. Wake up. Put your hands up, put your guns down. Listen to the cops, you gotta say, listen to the sound. Put the law down, write it down. When the piece of paper over time, you put the trade number, get up here and listen. Die on the cross, die in the dreams. That's the piece, baby. Here we go, we're shooting again. Here we're shooting again. Here we're going in. Pussy, you'll get shot in his brain head.
Every time somebody blinks their eyes, another person dies, and it takes too long for them to realize.
We're presently in 6 schools in Baltimore, working with close to 200 youth, right from elementary school to middle school, right after high school. And the aim is to nurture a new generation of high-impact leaders and problem solvers. Kids who look at their experiences and channel it into direct learning and action, and can inspire a generation of youth to understand that everything needed to radically transform Baltimore exists within these communities. We hope to be in 15 schools by the end of the next academic year, and are aiming to raise close to $100,000 to expand our program and to hire high-potential youth and educators. We truly believe that possibility is universal, and if we give our youth the platform to work on the things that they care about, that we can inspire the wildest of ideas in the unlikeliest of places. I'd like to thank the Social Innovation Lab and all of you for turning up here, and it was great to get a chance to share ideas and to hear more great ideas. Thank you.